Hello guys, David here and welcome back to another video. In this one today we're going to be doing something slightly different. I've only had this a couple of times, but I feel it's probably about the time I let you guys get stuck into it in the same way that I am as well. And in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about how you can install and get stuck in your own Salisbury FC series. Had a couple of questions on Twitter and on the YouTube videos in the series so far. Link to the first video, that'll be in the top corner right now. If you haven't seen it already, go and check it out. But yeah, a couple of people asking like, how do you get the database? Have you got the kits, the badges, that sort of thing? I will leave everything in terms of assets that I can in the description, or at least links towards where to download them from. But without any further ado, we'll roll the intro and we'll show you how it's done. Okie dokie then guys, so before we go into Football Manager and I'll show you how to actually get the database open, first thing you need to do is you actually need to have a copy of the database saved in your documents folder. Now this is really simple to do. Apologies if you're on a Mac because I don't know exactly what the folder path is, but if you go online you'll be able to find it. It's really simple to figure out. What you're going to do is you're going to go into your documents on your computer, you go into Sports Interactive, Football Manager 2021, and then you're going to find a folder called Editor Data. If it's not there, now it should be, but if it's not, just add it in. Literally as simple as you would do any other folder on a Windows PC, or probably the same on a Mac as well. Right click, new folder, Editor Data. Simple as that. Just make sure you keep it the same format, so all lowercase. I've never tried it with uppercase, but I would imagine there's a reason why they show like that, so just keep it the same. And in there, you will see on my PC, I've got quite a few of these in here. But the one in particular I'll be leaving a link for is this Salisbury FC update one. There is the English level 10 database that the guys over the FM editors team have done. However, I was very fortunate to have been owed a favour by Steve, who is a fantastic guy and has done some brilliant work on these databases. And he very kindly just top and tailed a few of the players that weren't in there in the Salisbury side. So you have got a fully completed team. There are a couple of people who I understand are no longer with the club. I probably just use the in-game editor just to tweak them, and a couple of positional changes as well. The ones that I can think of note is Antonio Diaz is set as a centre midfielder on this game, but he's actually a left mid by trade. And Dom Jeffries is typically a typically a centre midfielder, but is classed more as a right midfielder on the game as well. If that's something you do want me to change, I'm sure I can sort that out and repost a new file, but it is something that can be quickly done anyway. And I'm sure you guys know way more about the club in terms of the positional side of things than I do. So you're going to pop that into here, and hopefully by the time I'm finished, I'm going to click on to open Football Manager, and we should find we're on the home screen. That worked out quite nicely, didn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to start a new game, and we're going to go into career, and then what we're going to have is something like this. As soon as you put any sort of file into the editor data screen, it's going to look like editor data folder rather. It's going to look like this. Otherwise, normally it would come up and you'd have a list of clubs you want to pick straight away. What you're going to do is you're going to click here where it says database in the top right corner, and you'll see I've got a load of options. Some are ticked, some are not, and these are literally just the databases that are set up in my editor data folder. Okay, I'm going to remove all of them, and I'm just going to click on the Salisbury FC update. You don't have to have the FM editors database selected as well. You can literally just use that one. As you can see, it's all verified. There's loads of changes in there, and it will do the job for you. So you can do that. You can click confirm, and then you'll just go up through the normal setup as you would normally do. Now I'm going to do that. I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll come back once I'm in the save, and I'll just quickly show you what the kits and everything look like as well. Cool. So we're into the save. I've actually just loaded up the one I'm doing at the moment because there's no point creating another one, is there really? Let's be honest. Don't look too much at the details on the screen because I'm a little bit further ahead than the recordings are on the channel at the moment. But I don't really think there's anything massively of note that you're going to really kind of read too much into. And if it is, then hopefully my big old blob face in the bottom corner is doing a job of hiding that quite nicely. But as you can see, I've got the Salisbury crest, I've got the Salisbury logo, and I've got the 3 kits that have been made for the club as well. I will include in the download the orange kit as well if you want it. If you don't, it's not a problem. It's completely up to you. I've obviously done that for the series, so you can choose what you want to do. If we go a bit further down though, I'll just try and show you some of the leagues a little bit further down. So if we go down to This one, you look at Blythe Spartans, you can see all of their stuff is in there. If we go down to Boston, Boston United is not a very good example, but you know what I mean. We're actually still in the Vanarama North, which isn't ideal, probably because they got promoted. So if we look at someone like Chester, who are also in, bloody hell, pick one that's not in there. There we go. So Altrincham, you can see there we've got all of the logos, all of the kits. I'm starting to remember that Altrincham were in the save anyway. But the point is, all of the kits and logos are in there. And to get them, you need to jump into the description below, grab one of the file paths. There's one in there that will link you to the kits, or at least link you to where you can download them. It depends on how I can get them to be uploaded, because they are in a folder. So I just need to kind of figure that bit out, but we'll see what we can do. What you're then going to do, I'm just going to quickly change across the screen. You're going to see Discord, OBS appear like a million times. It can be a bit freaky, so just ignore it for a second. But if I come back over to here and I open back up my documents folder, I'm going to go back to Football Manager 2021, so back to this kind of root file path, as you can call it, and I'm going to go into this graphics folder. Now this is where you're going to drop all of your logos, your kit packs, and face packs if you want to use them as well. Now, if you don't, and this is more likely, you might not have a graphics folder when you first log in and use Football Manager for the first time if you've literally just installed the game. So if you, again, just do what you normally do, just create it as I showed you before, and you could drop things into here. It's not a problem. Beyond this point, it's up to you how you want to folder it. You can see I've got my 3D kits for Salisbury in here, including a config file. I will endeavour to put them in there, but I do just need to check a couple of things before I do that. I've got a face pack thing, so I've got the Salisbury faces that we've got. So I've got a few people in there that I've got, obviously, who have donated to the cause. Again, if you do want to support the Stars Appeal charity, there is a link in the description that can show you how to do that and to get yourself into the game, which I think is a brilliant thing to do. And I've got a couple of other ones as well that I use. But I'm going to go into the kit packs, and you will see initially I've got my England levels 7 to 8 2020-21 kit pack. I've also got the Premier League. I don't need anything in between because they're all licensed by Football Manager in the Football League and the Conference and the North and South, so they're already kitted up anyway. So I only need those two. And you'll see in here, that's then split. If we then go to the Southern Premier South, you'll notice here, here's my 3 Salisbury kits. The standard ones that the provider gives are in here anyway, but obviously I've just replaced them with the ones that got my lovely friend Lorenzo over at FM Custom Kits put together for me, because they look so much better than the ones you get as normal. And again, I'll include these all in the folder anyway, so you get the good ones. This is all set up by this config file. You shouldn't need to change any of this. If you do find you want to start doing some fun stuff yourself, if you get into like the Football League and you want to change the kits or something, then I'm more than happy to help you out. Just drop me a message on Twitter. The link is in the description, and I will help you out sorting out that if you need to. Again, I'll stress the point that if you want some kits doing, you want them done properly, Lorenzo over at FM Custom Kits is your guy. You need to go and check him out because his stuff is brilliant. Again, another plug, his link will be in the description as well. We'll sort all of that out in a bit. Future David can handle that side of things. But yeah, once you do that, you pop them into the graphics folder. Like I say, as long as I tend to specify you put them in like this, so you've at least got logos, kits, and face packs separate, just because it's a little bit easier to get your head around. But the logos are exactly the same. You can see I've got a mega pack. It's enormous. I'm not going to show you it because it will take about 10 minutes probably to download the thing and view it. But that's got all of the logos we need in there as well. Once you've done that, we're going to jump straight back into Football Manager. I'm just going to do it on this screen rather than flicking back across. And you're going to need to do a couple of things in your preferences. This is the final thing, just to make sure they load up properly. Let's go back to the Salisbury kits because they're a lot nicer. So you're going to click on to Football Manager, the little FM logo in the top corner next to your date. And you're going to click down here to Preferences. In here, you're going to click on to Advanced and select from Most Common. You're going to go to Interface. It's really simple to do. It doesn't take a long time to do it at all. Now, when you first come in, you'll see it will look like this. So you'll have Use Cache into Decreased Page Loading Time selected, Reload Skin when confirming changes in preferences unticked, and Show Screen IDs in title bar to assist skinning unticked as well. Don't worry too much about this one. I've just got that on for other purposes. It helps with me putting the real game faces in. These two are the only ones you need to worry about. So don't worry about the other one for now. What you're going to do is you're going to untick this. It actually says only untick if you're adding graphics or editing the skin, which is exactly what we're doing. So you're going to untick that, and then you're going to tick to reload the skin. That will then pop up this little button here that says reload skin. It's very nicely laid out, I must say. Props to Sports Interactive for making it as idiot proof as possible for someone like me. And you're going to hit reload skin. This will come up, it will take a little bit of time. It entirely depends on how much you're loading in. If you've got an enormous amount of graphics in there, it is going to take a little bit longer. So as you can see, mine takes a minute or two just to work through that. A minute or two is an excessive amount, but you get the idea. But yeah, the more you're reloading, the more packs and the more data is in that graphics folder, the longer that is going to take. And as you can see there, lovely stuff, it's still stayed there. There's one last thing I need to tell you, and that is specific to this third kit. Obviously, as you guys know, as you guys who support Salisbury will be aware, they don't currently have a third kit. So therefore, I had to do something a little bit different to get this in. So you might not see it straight away, and you do need to have the in-game editor to do this, as far as I know. If you are very, very clever at these sorts of things and you know this to be different, please drop a note in the comments and let everyone else know. But as far as I'm aware, this is the only way I've figured out how to do it. So you're going to go on to the FM in-game editor little pencil here, and we're going to go on to edit club details. I think it is. It might have, no, it's not that one. It's clearly the one that very appropriately says edit kit details. And I'm probably going to end up screwing around this third kit. So just ignore what I'm doing. This is the process you have to take. So as you can see, home kit fine, away kit fine, colors are all there. But third kit I've added in, and I've just done a real basic thing. It doesn't really matter what it does. You just basically need to click on add, fill in all of this. See, I've got the color. I can always give you the colors of this. I know that mine isn't exactly the same. As you can see, you can pop in the RGB filters if you want to get it correct as well. It's completely up to you. But this won't be in here when you first get started. So what you need to do is you need to click onto this. You need to add that kit in. It has kept it, fortunately. It doesn't normally do that. And then once you've done that, you'll just need to make sure that allow licensed kits is ticked. If you see here, if I untick it, it just goes back to normal. If I click it again, they reappear. It's basically just drawing from that graphics folder to pick up on what you need. And it's as simple as that. It's really not very difficult. Like I say, I've had a few people ask for it, so I just wanted to create this video, hopefully nice and quick, just to show you guys what you have to do to make yourself available to play the game yourself. Of course, just a quick disclaimer, because I know some people have asked me this and they've been on Xbox and things like that. You do have to be running the full copy of Football Manager to do all of this. You can, I think, do it on FM Touch. I haven't tried it myself, but you might be able to do it. But again, I wouldn't suggest that you definitely can. You definitely cannot do it on the Xbox version because you don't have the file folders and things like that as you do on a PC. So if you are using Xbox One, unfortunately, you can't get this. Hopefully, Salisbury get promoted this year if the league ever finishes, and you'll have to get them in the game anyway. But this PC thing, hopefully enjoy it. If you do make the most out of it, and you find that it's useful, and you start your own save as well, I'd love to know how you're getting on. It'd be really good to see what you're doing. But if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe if this is the first time you come across the channel. Plenty more stuff like this coming in the future. And of course, like I say, let me know your thoughts and your experiments and how you get on with the save in the comments as well. But that's going to be it from me, guys. Mine has been David, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.